Is abortion practically legal in Florida? And can you go to jail for getting one? Hell, can I go to jail for helping someone get an abortion in Florida? Hello, I'm attorney Lamont McNaught, a family law attorney based in Miami, Florida, here to give you an update on current legal trends. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. In this video, I want to help you understand Florida's new abortion law. If you're like me, you may be thinking, what the heck are these Florida lawmakers thinking? Why are they trying to make abortions harder to get? According to the Florida Office of Economic and Demographic Research, EDR, Florida's population has grown by a massive 5.1% since the 2020 census. Florida's population now sits around a staggering 22.6 million people. The EDR attributes Florida's massive population spike to net migration because Florida has experienced a decrease in population due to natural births over deaths. Between 2010 and 2020, nearly 90% of Florida's growth was due to migration. 70% of new migrants hail from other states, while 30% are international migrants. Although these statistics may play a part in the new wave of anti-abortion sentiment, the question still remains, is this the best way of protecting women's health while ensuring that the population grows? Or are abortions just a convenient political football? Now, I believe most people would agree that an abortion is a crucial medical tool that many women and their families rely on, not only for family planning, but also as a means of preserving a pregnant woman's right to her body, her future, her career, and her life. I'm sure you've heard ample arguments on both sides of the political spectrum about why abortions should be banned or why abortion is a necessary right. It is hard to turn on the news nowadays and not hear some politician, political pundit, or newscaster mansplaining why abortion should be illegal. But the true question is, has Florida gone too far by changing its abortion limit from 15 weeks down to 6 weeks? Think about it for a minute. At 6 weeks, most women don't even know that they're pregnant, much less even have time to go seek out medical advice and make life-altering decisions. Now, in this atmosphere of fake news, many people treat statistics and facts as suggestions. But let's take a minute and think about these reports. The Cleveland Clinic, for example, published an article stating that around the end of week 5 of pregnancy, the fetus's neural tube, which specifically links towards the brain and the spinal cord development, has just started to form. By week 6, blood cells are just starting to take shape. In fact, according to the Cleveland Clinic, it's usually hard to detect a pregnancy, so medical providers have to rely on ultrasound machines to detect the pulses of the clustering cells. According to the Mayo Clinic, by the end of week 5 to week 6, the fetus's heart has not even formed. The New York Presbyterian Hospital went even further and outright said that during week 5, most women don't even know they're pregnant. By week 5, most women just realize that they missed their period. In fact, if you are a woman whose period is sometimes delayed due to other medical issues, that is way above my pay grade to discuss in this video. You may not even think you're pregnant in the first place. By week 5, the baby is about the size of an apple seed. Stop and think about that for a second. The fetus is about the size of an apple seed. Medical experts also believe that by the end of week 6, the fetus is about the size of a green pea. Again, think about that for a second, a green pea. Now, I'm not here to downplay the importance of life. In fact, I personally don't like abortions. But is it really my place to get between a woman and her doctor to decide what's best for her body? By reducing abortion access from 15 weeks to 6 weeks, the Florida legislature has made access to abortions practically illegal. If a woman doesn't know she's pregnant, how can she in good conscience be forced to make one of the most important decisions of her life or risk going to prison? But in true Florida form, and yes, I think after 10 years of living in Florida, I got the right to say this is just plain bullshit. To add insult to injury, the new statute states in particular, Any person who willfully performs or actively participates in the termination of pregnancy in violation of the statute may be charged with a third-degree felony. A person in Florida who's charged with a third-degree felony could be sentenced to a maximum of 5 years imprisonment and a fine of $5,000. If God forbid the mother dies during the abortion, the charge is bumped up to a second-degree felony, which means that you could be sentenced to 15 years in prison and pay a fine up to $10,000. If a woman is unlucky enough to not find out that she's pregnant before week 6, then she has to get 2 separate doctors to certify in writing that the abortion is medically reasonably necessary to save her life or avert a serious and substantial and irreversible physical impairment to her major bodily function. By the way, side note, the statute is clear that this does not include psychological harm to the pregnant woman. Can you imagine? So if you're a pregnant woman who's carrying a fetus that is not viable, but does not pose a serious risk of substantial or irreversible psychological, physical impairment to a major bodily function, then you're just shit out of luck. The only other exceptions are in the case of rape, incest, or human trafficking. But guess what? If you're more than 15 weeks pregnant, after experiencing rape, incest, or human trafficking, and you have an abortion, you still go to prison in Florida. If a woman in Florida seeks an abortion due to rape, incest, or human trafficking, then she has to bring written evidence to her doctor from either a court, a police department, or a medical provider proving that she was raped, the victim of incest or human trafficking. Now tell me, isn't that just a little too much? A pregnant woman is already going through one of the toughest times in her life, battling cramps, mood swings, soreness, fatigue, morning sickness, and others. So why would we make one of the most painful decisions of her life even harder? To have to expose herself to further distress just to protect her own body, that's extreme. As a result, Planned Parenthood has reported that hundreds of women in Florida are now forced to flee the state in order to get basic abortion care. Now, I don't care about your politics, but imagine if this was your wife, your sister, your aunt, your mother, your friend, or your neighbor. Would you want to impose these draconian restrictions on them? I surely would not. But what the hell? We live in Florida, right? Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to stay informed about this topic and more. Share this video with your friends and family to keep them informed so they too can know their rights. And if you or someone you know is experiencing this issue, send us an email at intake@miglegal.com for more information and help.